Another adventures game here. Quite a few cards on the board this time. Storyteller, Treasure Trove, Bridge Troll, Messenger, Ratcatcher, and the event Lost Arts. Looking at the board, it seemed like you wanted to put Lost Arts on something like either Merchant Guild or Minion or maybe even Bridge Troll. I was thinking Minion because you turn them into villages basically. Anyways, I open Marauder because I believe the junking is important. My opponent gets Silver first up and then a Ratcatcher. I disagree. I think you should have gone with a Marauder. Anyways, here my opponent buys Militia with this 4 here. Again, ignoring the Marauder. Maybe they thought Ratcatcher was enough to deal with the ruins, but I mean Ratcatcher is kinda iffy because you have to have the card you want to trash in hand to be able to trash it, of course. So here I was deciding between a second Ratcatcher and a Silver because I have no money in my deck. I opened Ratcatcher and Marauder, but I want to get to 5 to get to these minions. I think minions are the key to this game. Because my opponent does not have a Marauder, I felt that it would be okay to get the silver. There is no real rush to trash that heavily. And in any case, I buy another Ratcatcher here. So here I'm able to play my Marauder for the first time, gain enough spoils, giving out a ruins, and buy my second Ratcatcher. So here my opponent has $7 and to my surprise doesn't go for minion, instead goes for bridge troll. So maybe they have a different idea for how they want to play this game. So here I managed to put 2 Ratcatchers on my tavern mat, get another play of the Marauder very quickly, and with $3 I buy a third Ratcatcher because I expect my opponent to pick up a Marauder at some point, and I would want the extra trash in to deal with that. So here I would have liked to call my Ratcatcher and get rid of that estate and that copper, but the militia comes into play and prevents that from happening. Well, I opt to keep money in my hand so that I could finally get up to minion. With the minion I could play the Marauder more frequently and that would slow down my opponent even more. So here is my first minion spending these spoils. Throughout the course of this game I don't want spoils in the deck. It'll just cause pieces to not connect really. Here I keep the estates obviously because I want to call Ratcatcher and get rid of them. And on $2, maybe I should not have bought another Ratcatcher given that there was militia in the game. But I did anyway. I mean, it didn't do much harm. Anyway, my opponent gets the first play of Bridge Troll, I believe, and buys another Bridge Troll here. However, I still have enough money to get up to another minion or really most other things that I would want on the board. So when I saw the bridge troll buy, I wasn't too worried about it, given that the Ratcatcher would eventually catch the estates, and I felt that excuse me, I felt that I could counter that -1 coin token relatively easily. More Ratcatcher trash in here and setting aside. Here, I don't think I'll discard with this minion. Instead, I would much rather just take the money and play the Marauder attack. Here on this $4 hand, I choose to get Militia. Having the 2 terminals is not so bad. Sometimes, you know, you have to discard one of the 2. And it is good to either play Militia or Marauder. And eventually, I'm thinking long term about getting Lost Arts on the minions. So then I can play Militia and minion cycle, find Marauder for example. So I'll be able to get both of them and play regardless. So here I call Ratcatcher just to keep on trashing. Again, my opponent still has not picked up Marauder. So it makes my job of thinning the deck much more easy. My opponent buys a minion and now I buy a third minion, I believe. Out comes the bridge troll again, you know, lowering the price for him and also making things making me have one less money on my turn. But like I said, that really isn't a big deal for me. Here I do not call the second Ratcatcher because I want to make sure I have enough money to buy whatever it is I want to buy, probably a minion. You'll notice here that the Ratcatcher pile has been empty. My opponent took a bunch of them, probably realizing that the Marauder attack is starting to hurt. Here, Militia comes through. I choose to discard the Copper and a Ratcatcher because I want to get rid of this Copper with the set aside Ratcatcher, and then I can play Minion and discard. So my opponent, you see, is going for quite a bit of Bridge Trolls here, so it seems like they want to put Lost Arts on Bridge Troll and just drop like 4 or 5 of them and play at once, but you need minions to be able to do that, or storytellers anyway, and they don't have any of them. Again, I think this is the work of the Marauder, preventing my opponent from getting to, key price points. So here I discard and take money with some minions just to find my Marauder, play the Marauder. So now the Marauder is starting to be played nearly every turn and starting to become very annoying as an attack. You see here my opponent spend an entire turn just trashing ruins out from his deck with the rat catchers. So here you'll see just a few regulation turns with minion, just take 2 money and then discard hand. Here I just wanted to get to the end of the deck, and then I discarded a minion there because I didn't want my deck to be full with junk cards. At least I know there's a minion in the remaining 4 cards here. I keep pounding the minions despite having, well over $5 every turn, because like I said, I think it's key. If I get more minions, it means when I put a Lost Arts token on it, I'll have all of the actions. I can play as many merchant guilds as I want, and then that's just very, very strong. Militia comes out again. I save a copper to trash to the Ratcatcher, and minion comes forward to replenish my hand. I take more coins here. I think this time I play the Marauder. Yes, instead of cycling with the minion. Spending the spoils, getting out of the deck all the time. You want to keep your deck. Well, I wanted to keep my deck free of spoils. That way I can see my minions more often and they can do more reliable work. So here again, on this kind of hand, I would want to thin the copper and then play my minions. At this point, I think my opponent's deck is in a very bad shape with all these ruins in it. I've dished out, what, 7 ruins now, and it'll probably be 3 more turns before the ruins pile is empty. Again, you see here the minion attack has very little effect on me, as well as the militia. Does mean I won't be able to thin that copper I was speaking about earlier, but that really isn't a problem at this point in the game. It's just to hold the advantage I have at this point and carry it all the way. So minion for coins up until the last one, which we play to discard hand, and it also attacks him, and then we play Marauder again. So at this point with this Marauder play here, I am starting to be aware of piles. The rat catchers are empty. There's 1 minion left and there's 2 ruins left. So the game can end very quickly. My opponent also has numerous bridge trolls, so they have plus buys available to them, whereas I don't have that. Another turn spent just trashing there with the rat catchers by my opponent. So here, minion, minion, and then minion for coins, discard, rat catcher on the mat. Now on the mat, they're out of the game. They do not take up space in the deck at all, which is good against the militia attack. So here you'll see I make a somewhat foolish play, but it turned out to be okay. Really, I took all these minions for coin, and instead of buying province, which would have given me some points insurance, I buy the last minion. And when I saw my opponent play the bridge drill here, I realized, oh wait, I didn't consider that my opponent could have maybe 3 buys and go ruin, estate, and then win the game. So that was a little bit sloppy on my part. Luckily, it didn't come around to bite me. So here now is just a matter of technique to finish the game. I call the rat catcher to get that one copper, just, you know, that's its job for the rest of the game here. I play militia here because I don't want to give out that ruin yet. I want to have a comfortable points lead before I attempt to end the game. So here I gain a province. I don't know, my opponent could have a freakish turn, like there's a bridge troll in play, they could get a bunch of money and a second bridge troll in play. I mean, they could conceivably win, maybe, or at least tie the game. Not tie the game, actually, they're first player, so they would lose if they just got one province, but you never know, you know? Best case scenario, I don't know what the best case scenario is. They may have been able to win. So I just took the province, didn't want to play the Marauder. So here again, still just being extremely safe, perhaps too safe. I didn't want to go back in the deck, try to find the Marauder, fail to get province, and then lose to some freakish chain of events here. I just take all these minions for coins, buy my second province, and now I feel comfortable to go for the end of the game here. So my plan of putting the Lost Arts token on minions never came to fruition because the game finished too quickly. But still, just going after the minions seemed like a very safe thing to do. You know, you can still buy at least a province or two, and if you end up with as many minions as I did. Finally, you see my opponent with $8 here and choosing to put the token on the bridge troll, which is what we suspected that they wanted to do. So minion. Here now I just look for the Marauder to give out one ruins, and then I'd buy the last one for myself to finish the game. So that's the end of the game for today. Again, really, it's just minions carrying it home here for me. Thanks for watching. Feedback is always welcome.